Good evening, and welcome to another obnoxious episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now, here's your vociferous and bellicose host, Voice of Doom. Good evening, everybody. It's another one of those midnight diatribes. And I have nothing to say, but I figured I'd put some crap in there anyway. I don't know what the hell I'm drinking. It's yellow. It's probably got wine and amaretto and limoncello in there and maybe a little 7-Up and all kinds of crap. Triple sec. It's a sweet little refreshment. But I wanted to talk about something that I don't even know what the subject is. I watch the news and I watch the touts, and they're starting to say how bad things are, but they're not nearly mad enough. So I know that we're doomed. Because if they really knew what was going on, they'd be shouting while they still have a platform to shout on. And I'm not talking Twitter. I'm talking about major news outlets that are saying things are bad, but they don't have any idea how bad things are. And by the time they realize how bad things are, they won't have a job. And they'll be in the same boat with everybody else. So hopefully they save their money working at Fox or working at whatever other outlets they work in, because they won't have a job either. And I don't like this attitude like, oh, America is suffering, America is having hard times because of this, and it's like, it's so horrible. It's like, well, you're going to have hard times too. So once that happens, then you'll be shut down anyway, because there won't be any electricity. But when you get to the point where you got a house that you paid for, you're paying like $3,500 a month to pay the mortgage on your house because you're doing pretty good, and suddenly your income gets shut down, then what are you going to do? So you guys better think about it, all you Tuckers and Levines and all you people that are making pretty good money, Hannity. I mean, I don't know how much you make. You probably have a few mil, and I don't have anywhere near that. I have $500 in the bank, and I have checks in the mail, so that's going to be out the door. And it's my fault. Okay, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying you better get madder, because when people start realizing what's really going on, they're going to be apoplectic, and they won't have any Twitter or any way to communicate their frustration, because it's all shut down. So let's talk about things. Nothing big. I mean, there's an infant formula crisis right now, and that pushes aside every other crisis that's going on. So they're all sitting in the fields, and they're sitting in their tanks, and they're sitting in their, the tops of buildings with guns waiting for the Russians to come in. They're all just taking a break because America has another problem we have to worry about, which is baby formula. So let's just all stop. Now, what people don't seem to realize is we're being run by a moronocracy. I just made up that word last episode. And a moronocracy, whether they think they're doing the right thing or don't, if they are truly evil, then maybe they're not that stupid. But if they're trying to help this country or this world, they're not. Not at all. There's a primordial and a primeval instinct in human beings to protect and to do whatever they can to keep their progeny alive. Now, I know that doesn't apply to the people that are possibly, whatever their sexual orientation is, but are vociferously yelling for abortion. And they're probably right. I mean, everybody should abort right now. I don't see any good reason to have a kid right now. If I was 18, 19 and just got married, I would say we're going to be, what do they call those guys? Two incomes, no children. Dinks. That was an old term from the yuppies, that they were dinks. They were, double income, no kids. And they lived high on the hog, and they had fun and went to the Bahamas, and they probably died in a hotel room there. But they'd go to, the Yucatan and, Australia and have the time of their lives. Now, that's the way the yuppies went. That's the way the boomers went, because everything was for the boomers from beginning to end. Let's create a military-industrial complex. Let's create a perpetual world of making money out of whole cloth, giving it to the military, industrial, and hire everybody to work at Northrop and Rockwell and, Raytheon and the rest of them. Okay, that's fine. Perfect plan. Until you run out of money and you're still printing and the rest of the world is going, wait a minute, maybe we don't want to rely on this American currency anymore because they're just spending like drunken sailors. Drunken sailors who have no money. So I'm going to meander around about the whole state of affairs on this planet right now, because I had a feeling of trepidation today. And for no reason. It had nothing to do with Petri dish. It had nothing to do with Ukraine. It had nothing to do with China. It just had to do with just being in the world and driving to work. And I could feel the anger in everybody. No matter where you went, you go to a convenience store to pick up some cigars, and somebody's like mumbling behind you that you're taking too long, and it's just everything. When you're driving, I have to drive 17 miles to work, and it's through a highway that has no light, so everybody's just trying to go as fast as they can, and everybody's just trying to push people along at 80 or 90 miles an hour. And it's harrowing, and I'm lucky to be alive every time I get to work. I can feel that everybody's getting antsy. Everybody on this planet knows something bad's going to happen. Everybody knows it. So I just say, just make it happen, because the the anticipation is annoying. I just want it to happen so we can move on. Now, I'm going to go back to my original theme. Back in my first episode, and I've been saying it over and over again, people don't want to seem to listen. First of all, what used to be America is not exempt. We're going to get our fair share of calamity, just like Sri Lanka, just like Afghanistan, just like Iran, and just like Iraq, and just like Syria, just like Lebanon, and just like what soon will be a conflagration in Taiwan. America's going to get its fair share, and we're setting up everything perfectly for us to get it. And I work in a conservative little neighborhood full of white people that I almost am going along with the CRT crowd, because white people just bug the shit out of me. They are so full of themselves. They're so feeling like they're entitled. I get sick of them. It's a certain segment of society. They're all in between like 55 and 80, and they're Caucasian as hell. And I don't like them. I'm very even-handed when it comes to not liking people. You could call me a racist, but I use it for good. But I deal with these people, and today they were horrible, and I didn't want to even talk to them, and they want to talk to me. And a lot of people I talk to, and I say, look, America's weak. The veterans, thank you for your service. It's all well and good. America is weak. You can send some macho alpha males off to Afghanistan or off to Poland or wherever you want to send them off to. And that's great. But America is weak. We're not going to fight for anything. Look what we put up with. I mean, look at what we put up with. We've been locked down. We've been masked. We've been told you have to get a vaccine or you can't work. We've been treated like chattel. We've been treated like the herd. And we don't have herd immunity, but we have herd mentality because I see everybody, including these white, stupid-ass boomers who are in their early 70s with their $850,000 houses that they bought for like $30,000 back in 1952. And I'm annoyed with them because they think they're exempt. They think everything will be fine. Oh, I see the cisgendered guys, the bearded guys with the cap come in to eat. Oh, I'm ready. If there's anarchy, if everything falls apart, I'm ready. I got guns. How many bullets do you have? You gonna shoot everybody? I don't want any guns. When the conflagration comes, I'm gonna be in my house and I'm gonna be hunkered down. I'll be playing the piano and reading and doing what I usually do, chanting a lot, but I ain't gonna have a gun because that just brings trouble. Oh, I got a gun, so don't worry. When everything hits the fan, and all the biker gangs come around, I'll be ready. Well, you gonna shoot everybody? How many people are you gonna shoot before you're finally shot? People don't think. They think they're all tough. America's not tough. If America was tough, we wouldn't have the leaders in office right now. They would be gone. It'd be like, you're done. You have Alzheimer's. You've chosen people that are absolutely incompetent based on a criteria that's absolutely ridiculous, and you're gone. But America's not going to do that. Oh, the election. Oh, my God. So vote all Republicans in. They can obstruct everything that Petri dish wants to do, which is all well and good, but they got to do more than obstruct. They got to take everything and tear it apart and stomp it into a freaking bloody pile. They got to get rid of Petri dish and the gargoyle and all of them. If they really had guts, which they don't, they would have hearings on every single incident of corruption in the government and get rid of everybody involved. And that would mean everybody would have to resign or be put in prison. Because as we all know, they're all corrupt. And we put up with it. We put up with lockdowns. We put up with baby formula not being available. It's all well and good because you'll get it from the government and then they will be taking care of you from cradle. So that's part of that plan. But when, they say, oh, it's the fault of the public. There's a shortage of baby formula, which we ship to the border for illegals coming in. But it's because these parents are hoarding. Now, let me tell you something. I had a kid, and if I knew there was a shortage of Infamil and I went to a store and I saw a bunch of Infamil and didn't have a limit, I would take as much as I could get. It's not hoarding. It's thinking about the future, thinking I at least have enough for like 3 or 4 months, and then maybe my kid will be on solid foods or whatever. So America better get it together. They are weak. I'm going to be the first one to say it. And I ain't no hero. And I ain't going to, do any revolutionary stuff. Well, just because my karma, I don't want to do anything. If I wanted to do something, I would. But it would be, I'd probably feel sorry about it later. I'm going to leave it at that. I didn't say anything. I'm sorry. I just had a few drinks and I wanted to rant for a while. Don't even know what I'm going to title this. Probably call it America is Weak. And they think they're all that. Okay. Bye-bye.